Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. Another live match of the day, long overdue, by the way. For a few months, I sort of dropped the ball on this side of the segment, content wise, but we're back. And yeah, from an Arsenal point of view, mm, it, timing is not the best because obviously the domestic league's done. We're going through the motions. I mean, the team and everything. It will show today. Sorry. Um, but in other cases, obviously, relegation is still somewhat to be decided. Kind of. I mean, what one spot could be a guarantee done and dusted come this time tomorrow with Southampton if they have to win, basically with results that have gone so far this weekend, and then yet again dropping points against Palace midweek. They have to win tomorrow. Spoilers, by the way, on that side of things. But so one slot could be filled tomorrow, another slot could be filled next week, and closely the way results potentially could have gone today potentially. The third could be done. Relegation could be done by Easter completely. The way things are going, the league's done, as we know, all but done basically. All that's really to sort of, from a neutral point of view, if you're a neutral fan and you're not involved in it, is the clubs fighting for the European spots, from the Conference League spot, the Europa League spots, the Champions League spots, and even then, it's not get me off my seat exciting. It's just But as I say, we're back. We're going to carry on, push on through now for the remainder of this season with our match of the day segment, and then next season come back and get back to normality and push, and literally no matter what, week in week out, I will be pushing this segment out every Saturday, no matter what. Even if I am coming down with some fucking virus and I'm coughing and splurging all over the place, we'll find a way of getting out to you guys no matter what. YouTube censored says, "What a day without your face." I mean, it's been a weird one, really. From a football point of view, it's been But again, for the people, obviously yourself, might not know, I'm a big rugby fan, rugby union, not rugby league, fuck off, rugby union. And tonight, my team that I support in rugby, Munster, in Ireland, were playing in the first knockout round of their rugby's version of the Champions League, basically, which is the first knockout round tonight, one-off game away in France, and we, no thanks to the ref in the end, we won by 25 points to 24. We was 10 points clear with 15 to go, and then the referee decided to give them a penalty try and make a bit of a dramatic end, so to say. But we saw it through. So Munster, they're through to the quarterfinals of the European Cup. Hopefully, we can go one step further than we have done for the last few years and actually get to a semi-final for the first time in a long time. Which is mad to say. If you're a rugby fan, you hear the name Munster. European rugby, the European Cup itself and Munster go hand in hand. We've won it twice, literally 2006 and 2008. 2006, both days actually. No, 2006 and 2008, both for my birthday actually. Which is, when you think about it, is absolutely mental. And what would have been even better in 2006 if Arsenal turned up. I say turned up, they did turn up. If Arsenal got screwed over on the 17th of May, the way we did. But look, it is what it is. So for me personally, I've had a bit of an up and down day, and then sort of the Munster result tonight, the rugby scored, sort of picked me up a bit. Fantastic. Again, something else to look forward to. And I think that's next week actually, the quarterfinal. So bring that on. But back to the football, as you go to say, Real Madrid lost at home to Valencia, and Vinicius Junior himself missing a penalty. At 0-0 in the opening minutes, and the 13th minute, was it? No, I didn't realize it was. But from what I heard, it was an absolute howl of a penalty. Horrendous. And then Valencia scored, and then Madrid scored, but it was ruled out for offside. It was an own goal, but either which way, it was ruled out. Eventually, Madrid then got themselves, just before half time, got themselves back into the game. And then it was like last kick of the game, one of their own, formerly, comes up for Valencia, scores a winner. And again, years gone by, even with Valencia, you think, oh, well, that's not such a bad result in terms of it's Valencia, they're well known. Yeah, the ownership of Valencia sort of run them into the ground, and they're basically cannon fodder for the last couple of years, fighting for survival, basically. BX is in the chat as well. How you doing, BX? He won't miss against us. Well, hopefully we don't give him the fucking opportunity to score the penalty, take a penalty against us. Let's not give him the opportunity first and foremost. Oh dear. A lot of fucking rotation in that squad tonight from Madrid as well. We'll talk about our rotation. Look about theirs. And Chouameni, who by the way is Chouameni, who played today centre back, ain't playing at all on Tuesday. Suspended. Madrid are about their first choice and second choice goalkeeper. They played their third choice tonight, so they've got that. We've got that. They've Carvajal's got an ACL, as we all know. There's another player with an ACL, and they've got 3 or 4 other players out injured as well. So it could be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. The match today is underway. I was waiting for the first game. Who they're going to put up first? Oh, it's the Midlands derby. Oh, I mean, again, there's 5 games, by the way, just to be clear. There's 5 games. One we covered earlier, obviously, from the Arsenal point of view. And they all basically are goals on them. It's just that this is a derby, basically. Well, there's another derby, but this is an actual local derby. The other derby is a derby for some bizarre reason, even though they're in different parts of the country. It makes sense. But here we go. The Midlands derby, Villa versus Nottingham Forest, high flying Nottingham Forest as well, who are literally chasing down that Champions League, that obviously third spot. To be honest, at this point, I know obviously spoilers by the scoreboard there, but they do deserve to be in the Champions League next year. They've been in the Champions League area, in the spots, basically all season. From like match day 4 or 5, they've been up there in and around in them spots, be it 4th or 3rd or whatever. Still coming from Benetton, feeling it, but as it was, I mean, technically he did coach, but he wasn't league head. He was like the assistant, wasn't he? I'd say, oh, that's a poor goal for Forrest to concede. Good goal from Morgan, Rogers, though. Well taken, give him his due. Got to give him credit there. Well taken goal. But from Forest's point of view, from what they've been built on this season, that's poor to give away. And yeah. But yeah, it was Gary Neville actually was the head coach, and Phil Neville was like the assistant. And then Gary Gary's Gary and did what he did. But bizarrely, no one really knows about this or talks about it. But when Gary got sacked, Phil stayed put for another month or 2 until they hired someone else, which is weird. But that's it. But that's an interesting discussion at dinner table come Christmas Day in the Neville household. Valencia. Aston Villa, sorry. Oh, there you go, 2-0. Who was that? Missed that as I was. Oh, Malin. You know. Another one of the recent signings as well. Bloody hell. Imagine what happens when you make a few signings in the January window, eh? Okay, hell. But going into this game, it is bizarre to see Villa going into this game knowing they had to win. No, not just because it was a derby, but they had to win to keep their chances of getting a Champions League spot still within the grasp, basically. It's out of their hands, but it's still is within grasp. And I think this is the weird thing is they have to get European football in general is not going to be good enough in terms of because of the FFP and what PSR and all that. The Europa League / Conference Leagues, but Villa dropping to one of them competitions off screwing basically for PSR and FFP from the domestic point of view, because they've gone ball. They've basically done a modern day Leeds from back in the early 2000s where they've gone balls deep basically to do everything they can to get into Europe one way or the other in terms of Conference or Europa League. Overdone it in terms of overachievement, got into the Champions League, but kept on committing, knowing that the wage bill was literally tinkering in January. It was 96%. Then you added into a question. Yes, they sold Johan Duran, but look at the amount of players they then brought in, all on high wages, by the way, even ones on loan, and they've now pushed it. They're now on the brink of. If they don't get Champions League, they're going to break the PSR either way, basically. That's how bad it's got. On that side of things. I've got my levels mixed up. I mean, they were both there. So and technically, Phil was assistant coach, so he was technically coaching them. That's when you then see what the Phil never went on to do. His next big job was the Lionesses, and how he fucking monumentally fucked that. And to prove the point of how much he fucked it, Serena Voigtman came in 9 months. Within 9 months of coming in, wins the Euros with us with the same squad. Gunnar on the chat. Easy for what, Gunnar? How you doing, my old mucker? I'm not bad myself in terms of obviously disappointment aside from not just result today, but the fact we're not domestically we're not going to win the league, sadly. But at the same time, excited from a fan point, again, Arsenal fan point of view. I'm excited ahead of Tuesday because it's Real Madrid, it's Champions League night, bring it on, sort of thing. See what happens. But yeah, but how about yourself? I've got other personal stuff going on in the background that I'm not going to go into. I'm not going to go into right now. Just yeah. Hence why we didn't get a match today on Wednesday. Just yeah, was it in a right frame of mind, so we say, to be like, oh, hi guys, da-da-da. Yeah, it was obviously, yeah. I'm going to be the last one anyway, match today on this anyway, but so we'll probably discuss it a bit more going on when our game comes up. But yeah, what is Martinez doing? So Martinez has just grabbed the ball. Him and Jota or Forrest have got into a bit of an argument, but they're both shoving each other here. They're both bumping off into each other, and then Martinez throws literally grabs him and throws him to the floor. No booking. Literally throws him to the floor. Not even a booking. Just a don't do it again. Yet Everton got the penalty that he got. Make it make sense, please. Yeah, cheers, appreciate it. Yeah, a message on WhatsApp. And it'll make sense why I'm not going into it publicly here. Put it that way for now, anyway. Did you read the story about Chelsea selling their women's team franchise for £200 million to a parent company it owned? Yep, and he got them obviously put them in the plus side of things financially for the Premier League, but the UEFA gone fuck off. What do you think you're playing at? That ain't sufficing. You're in debt. You are literally in the. You're financially breaking FFP. That's what I mean. We're not acknowledging you either sort yourselves out basically by getting Champions League football, or we're coming after you in the summer, basically. Which would be funny, because that could actually mean not just a transfer ban from the suspended one that they got, but an extension to that. But also, they could also be suspended for more European competitions for however long UEFA feel is right, basically. Which would be brilliant. See him in my West, I can fucking sell off the Prats. Using Pratt use loosely. Matty Sells, he's a good goalkeeper, Matty Sells. Just almost got, obviously, Rashford had a chance at the score. He's obviously, Sells gets himself off his arse and runs back and punches the ball off the line whilst getting fouled. I'm going to be having a baby. My first, not been on YouTube as much. We definitely need to do some streams together. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Obviously, congratulations to you and the other half as well, partner, however you want to word it. Yeah, and good luck and all that jazz. And then in terms of once things are settled and your end and all that, yeah, more than happy to do streams with you on here and on your side of it and your channel as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. More than happy to. Just let me know when the time's right. Let's reach out and we'll sort something out, basically. Only Udayemi could actually look pissed. They won the game in the end, against spoilers by the score that was on the screen a minute ago. Only Udayemi could win a game. That means they still have the chance of Champions League football for next season in terms of the spots, and he looks pissed. I think it makes sense. Hi, Stefan. How you doing? I mean, spoilers, all things aside. Hope you're okay. I will say this. I don't think we're going to see Mr. Tom in the chat tonight. He's not in the happy place when it comes to his team and football in general after their result today. And even though Oxford went on to help them out with beating one of their rivals, still, yeah. And I get it, because obviously the last 3 games they're dropping points like flies. It's like when they were going into them 3 games prior, they were in the best form in the league. It was basically theirs to lose in terms of the automatic spots. And now it's like 4 or 5 games to go in the Championship, and they've dropped the third. They've now dropped the third today, point off Sheffield United, and Scotty Parker's team's top. Fucking hell! I don't want Burnley. Anyone but I don't care. I do not want to see Burnley back in the Prem. How bad is the Championship, by the way? Full due respect, 2 of the 3 teams that have gone down. 2 of the 3, sorry, have got a chance of getting straight back up. One's completely fucked themselves this year, but the other 2 have got on the verge of coming back up. July as well. Maybe, hopefully, that's in the off season. Sorry, that's pre-season technically. Hopefully, it's sort of a good omen going forward into next season, and she brings us all some good luck from the Arsenal point of view, and helps us get that league title. I'm clutching at straws at this point. 20 odd years. I was 14, literally 14. That's days away from my 15th birthday when we actually lifted the league title. I'm getting on a bit, so at my age. My entire 20s, I've not seen my team my entire 20s, I didn't see my team lift the title, and I'm now in my mid-30s and still waiting. Depressing. Actually, I'll read this first of all. Bloody hell. Well, yeah, of course, we're going to sort that down quickly. Enjoying a minute to go out very fast. Congratulations, says BX as well, yeah. But was it 4-5? Again, I think there's one game between, and it's Sheffield United versus Burnley, which gives as long as Leeds get their ass out their arse these last few games and win the rest of their games now. That could be the game that, for example, if Sheffield United draw or lose, and that particular game, even if they win all the rest in between, if Leeds win all their remaining games, they'll pip Sheffield United to an automatic spot basically, and vice versa. If Burnley were to lose, that way. So there's still that glimmer of hope, but they've got to start winning games. Get back to winning. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the what happened last year. For the players that were at. By the way, Stefan, get behind the sofa. You're not going to like the next game coming up. For players that are at Leeds last year, maybe the memories of last season, the back end of last season, are lingering in their head, and it's getting to them. But that's down to the manager and Daniel Farker to get that out of their fucking heads and remind them it's a new season, new this, new all that, and just get yourselves over the line. Stop panicking. Just do your fucking jobs. You've done all the hard work up to this point. A little bit more, and you're in the promised land, basically. I'm so pissed off with the officials again. How the hell was that? But it wasn't. In no way, God's green earth. I said it to Liam on our watch long, and Gay actually, because Gay was there. To be fair, I said it to both of them. We will see similar incidents, sorry, in and around the pitch, in and around the penalty area, especially around the penalty area. Similar, same sort of contact, everything, and the referees will wave play on, or accidentally get the pen, but VAR will turn it over. Guarantee it. And then literally, since I've been offline for the last obviously how many hours since I did a watch along this afternoon. On X, one account literally made a good point actually. I'll see if I can find it. I'll put it on the screen. Fuck it. It could be that app. Nope. Thing is, going by again. I always say this. We are going by highlights and all that. But it started off well, so I don't know what went wrong for them for obviously said result to happen in the end. And it's a good goal. For a team that's trying to stay up. That in itself was a really good goal actually from Ipswich, and well deserved. So what went wrong from this point for them to fuck it up? Didn't the nerves get to him, knowing it obviously holding on 6 points off to get that glimmer? Did the pressure get to him? I don't. This is what I've been saying, even from the neutral, because I've always wanted it from the get go. It's to stay up, one way or the other, find a way to stay up. But defensively, it's every game it gives away silly goals. I haven't seen the goals today, but yeah, anyway, let's go and find this thing I saw earlier. Sorry. Here we go. So I retweeted it. Here we go. Put it up on this thing. So basically, 8 hours ago, this account put Brighton at home, Man City away, Brighton away, Everton away as his initial tweet, and then says in that tweet he goes on to say these 4 games where we've had wins stripped away from us due to abhorrent decisions by the officials, and and I'm meant to just stomach it up and move on. The sooner these refs are binned, better the product. Yeah, I mean, no matter what people say, the officiating is so bad in this. And I understand there's referees in and around the world make mistakes, this, that, and the other. But the officiating is that bad in England, even from an Arsenal fan. I want to say I'm just sick of sitting every week or every other week talking about Premier League refs deciding the outcome of games, screwing teams over, screwing Arsenal over, screwing this team over, screwing that team over, this and the other. The lack of consistency over and over again. The one thing that they're consistent with, it's been consistently shit. But because since Howard Webb's come in, it's been but it's been transparent now. Initially, it was the letters of apology, and we look to learn and improve, which is a lot of bollocks. Because every time they made a mistake, they make the same mistake over and over again, and put the letters out. And everyone got pissed off of it and said, "Pointless, absolutely pointless." I mean, literally. For example, Wednesday night, we all say it. We can all say James Tarkowski, the Everton defender, should have been sent off, straight red. Obviously, didn't happen. After the game, the very next morning, by 10 o'clock, they put Howard Webb and his gang put a statement out saying, "We admit we fucked up. He should have been sent off." Okay, so you admitted it. You said he should have been sent off. Where's the retrospective action towards the player then? Why is he not retrospectively then given said red card, i.e. a 3-match ban? And why then are your officials that are making these mistakes not being punished? What? And when the punishments do happen, it's picking and choosing. The last time I can remember a referee actually being given a week ban. Oh my god, that's bad from Ipswich. 1-1. The last time I remember a referee being banned was there have been twice this season actually. Of all the mistakes and all the things, not just from an Arsenal point of view, but in general, was Michael Oliver again after the Wolves game when he sent off Miles Lewis-Skelly and the backlash they got from that. And even then, look how long that took, because he was initially put on the roster to referee the Arsenal after refereeing Arsenal versus Wolves, or Wolves versus Arsenal. Sorry, he was then put on the roster to referee Arsenal versus City the following week. Now, that's not dodgy, is it? The same referee, refereeing a team back to back out of 20. What are the odds out of 21? 21 match officials they have on the Premier League roster. Come on. When there's 20 teams and all that every week. 10 games. What are the odds? But only because of the backlash, and even it was late in the day when they went, actually, we're going to take him off that game, put him on Ipswich versus Southampton, and the referee for that game is going to now be the referee for the Arsenal Man City game. Other than that, the only other time I've seen the referee this season being punished for poor officiating performance was Anthony Taylor. That's really poor defending. This is what I'm saying about Ipswich. They're so poor. I understand. Again, I get it because you've been in League One, Championship, Premier League, back years. You've done something very unique in the modern football in general. You weren't expected to be here so quickly. But it's just basics at this point. It's just, and at this stage of the season as well. Yeah. But as I was saying, going back to Anthony Taylor when he refereed the game between Bournemouth and Chelsea, when he dished out 14 yellow cards, and admittedly, most of them yellow cards weren't yellow card offences. And because it was a live game in the UK on Sky on a Saturday night, there's a bit more shooting on it, and a bit more, and obviously the media having a bit of poking a bit of fun at it, bit of fun at him and PGMO in general. But they straight away went, right, was it Monday? Boom, right, Eddie, you're out for the week. You're suspended without pay. Piss off. other than that, referees that will be making mistakes week in, week out this season, it's just like, la 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 la, Howard, save us. Get on mic'd up with Michael Owen. Let Michael Owen get on his knees and do what he normally does. And they've now got the media in general going, they're being transparent now. They're being transparent about how shit they are, and they're backing up how shit they are. They're not being transparent in the sense of, well, we can understand why this decision looks a bit iffy here, and obviously the same incident happens here, and we ain't consistent with it. It's like a different outcome. It's just like, well, for example, Saliba gets sent off against Bournemouth earlier this season. Since then, how many times have we seen either in the same area or closer to the goal, the last man take out the attacker with no cover, and it's just a booking. And the media and the Howard Webb and his gang all put out, well, it was going away from goal and the ball was going. There's no guarantee he could have got to the ball. There's no he got the ball on control. 40 odd fucking yards away from goal. 50 odd yards away from goal. That's a guarantee, is it? Fuck off. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of coming here every week from an Arsenal point of view, from a neutral. Again, when it comes to teams that don't have other teams, I'm sick of sitting here and having this discussion. How is it? How have we got to this point? Oh, hang on a sec. How have we got to this point where the Premier League refs are the main talking point of most games over every weekend, every match day in England? How has it got to that point? When I grew up, when I was growing up, watching the it was called the Premiership back then, before they rebranded. Growing up, I wasn't aware who this ref was. Whoever our ref was on a match day, didn't know the ins and outs of his career and this, that, and the other. Didn't know his name. Didn't really care. They made mistakes, but they just got. It was more. They got on with the job. They were hired to do a job, and they did it. Made mistakes, whatever. We complain, but we move on. But it wasn't to this level, and here we are in 2025. We know the ins and outs of. We know the full name of every referee in the Premier League. We know the full name of them. We know who they support, where they're from, where they live, any and everything about them. We know. That's ridiculous. We shouldn't know as much as we do when it comes to referees in general. I watch again. I'm a rugby fan. Rugby union. I don't know all the referees' names in rugby. Even now, in 2025, I've watched rugby for over 20 odd years. I don't know a single referee's name, first or surname. I don't know where they're from, in terms of literal general location of the part of the country they're from. I know where because obviously it comes on the screen. But for example, France, New Zealand, whatever. But I don't know the exact location of that part of the country. Be it, for example, Sydney from Australia, Sydney, or Melbourne, or England, London, or Brighton, or Manchester. We know too much, and that's ridiculous. It's also ridiculous, by the way, that pretty much every referee, all 21, again, what is the odds that all the referees in this country, the best of the best, all happen to come from that north? More specifically, up in Manchester, in the Manchester area, or Greater Manchester, whatever you can call it. What are the odds in all this? Where is the diversity of Premier League refs from, not just from Manchester, from Newcastle, from Swansea, Cardiff, because they're part of the UK. Swansea, Cardiff, London, Southampton, Brighton, Bournemouth, Wolverhampton, the Midlands in general. You know what I mean? It's like, where is all that? Why are they all from up north? And why is it the couple that aren't are not in the Manchester area or outside the Manchester area, just outside of that? Why is it for the ones that are living, for the ones that are from Manchester? Why is it? Sorry, that's what eventually. Why and how is it when a game, for example, Manchester United versus Arsenal, or Man City versus Arsenal, or Man City versus Chelsea, or whatever? Why is the referee on the pitch in the VAR room most of the time from Manchester? And you can't deny it because for the last 2 seasons, Arsenal versus Manchester, last 3 seasons actually. For the last 3 seasons, Man United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford has been refereed by a referee on the pitch that's from Manchester and a VAR official that's from Manchester. But they're not going to be biased in any what capacity. They ain't going to know a strong feeling towards one team or the other, even though geographically they've grown up in the area of one of them teams. I can find out. I'll find out just to prove a point. Let's have a look. By the way, next game up is Palace versus Brighton. The derby that is, I don't know how it's a derby, but it's a derby basically. 2025 left. Times a 6, right? One day. Don't care about that. Manchester Derby. One second. Have a look at this. Click this. See what it says. Yeah, agree. Whatever. Right. So Manchester Derby referee confirmed. This is on. So I don't know what it's called. UnitedDistrict.co.uk. So. Appointed 126 Cardiff. Yeah. The referee overseeing Sunday's Manchester Derby has confirmed Manchester United have Manchester United have been appointed a Premier League official who had dealt out 126 cards in his campaign. Whatever. Keep reading. Here we go. Right, John Brooks, pictured below. Right, John Brooks will be the referee on Sunday afternoon in the Manchester Derby. Brooks has officiated 14 league fixtures this season. How many games? He's only officiated 14 games, so okay, makes sense. 3 in Europa League and 8 others in domestic competitions, as well as one Nations League tie. Brooks has met United 4 times this season. 3 came in Premier League. The first was a 4-0 win over Everton, which was officiated in a 2-1 over Southampton, and the team that lost to Palace. So what? Jonathan Brooks, yeah? John Brooks, sorry. See where he's from. Come on, this will be fucking fun. Milton Mowbray, Leicestershire. I mean, it's Midlands. This isn't. I mean, they couldn't. Let's be honest. Okay, so he's from the Midlands, right? Who's opening him out? Come on. Join the game, Simon Bennett and so Simon Bennett and Dan Rothbard. Sorry, what was it? Simon Bennett. Simon Bennett first. We'll do Simon Bennett first. Simon Bennett referee. Simon. I thought you'd see this on the match today. Watch on me researching bloody referees. And when a fucking film for Manchester fucking dub it doesn't even. Yeah. Simon Bennett. Is this the Aussie guy? What's it? No, I don't think it is. One sec. Where is this? No Wikipedia for the fucker though. I didn't say that. Linked it. Oh, fuck off. Where's this guy from? What was that? I can't find out where fucking Bennett's from, basically. That's dodging itself. Oh, he's Stoke. He's from Stoke. That's close to the mark, but okay. The other one. Right. Who's the other prick? Dad. Robber. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to fucking find out where you guys fucking from. No, nothing there. Okay, come back to that another day. Right, next for VAR. Right, who's the VAR? Paul Tierney. Well, there you go. Well, we all know where Paul Tierney's fucking from. Paul Tierney from Greater Manchester has been appointed as the video assistant referee. Tim Ward will act as an assistant there. It's like Tim Ward, right? So we've got Manchester Derby, and you've got a person from Manchester officiating in some capacity from the VAR point of view. And depending on what part of Manchester he's from, it could be very interesting. Tim Wood. Right. That doesn't help. Gloucestershire. Okay, now. Is that what you got? See what you guys have been saying in the chat as I've been ranting off and yeah. Absolutely. I think last season might be playing on their mind. You know about Leeds? Well, I don't know about Leeds earlier, weren't you? Yeah. Hi, Chris. How you doing? 3 more wins for you and it's done, you bastards. Is this to me? You know, if it's me, it's on Insta, the Mr. Arsenal podcast, and on X, it's at the Mr. Arsenal pod. No, of course we fucking know it's Ben. Ryan rants, justifiably. At least we agree for once. We need to hear the conversation between refs and VAR officials. You hear it in rugby. Yeah, exactly. In rugby, again, with rugby, they've had their version of VAR. They call it different, totally different, but they've had their version for we're in 2024 for like 25, 26 years, maybe longer. I think in like the late 90s, even 99, I think 99, 2000, they brought it in. And straight from the off, be it even if you're at the ground, there and then, you're given the option to buy for a couple of quid a little radio piece that you can also take with you and come back and forth and use it again. But that literally links up to what the referee's mic, and during the game during the game you hear what the ref's saying and back and forth between them and the people in the box in the room or wherever they are. You hear it all back and forth, like you do at home on the TV. But no, again, Howard Webb. No matter what they say, why do you think we're getting the Women's World Cup? What they did in the Women's World Cup, where they go over, have the chat first, and then afterwards they explain why they're sticking with their decision or not. We're still not being told. Well, we're not allowed to hear everything. The conversation back and forth until 2 or 3 weeks later, when held Webb's discretion basically on mic'd up with Michael Owen. Hi Russ, how you doing as well? Hope you're having a good weekend so far, with all due respect. Of course you're in. It's Howard Webb. It's a Manchester derby at Old Trafford. We know it's Howard Webb driving them there. Mr. Manchester United himself. I had that pizza. Oh, okay. And before let's say I'm happy, check group chat. I said it wasn't a penalty. Okay, cool. As long as you're not doing the shit algae bullshit, we're cool. This guy okay. Whatever. The best VAR is an NBA video assistant referee gets on the microphone and tells us that. But that's what in rugby. You literally get in rugby for like 25, 26 years from the get go. Even within the stadium, you get to hear you get little fucking mic thing, and you their earpiece, and you get to hit everything. Even at home, you get to hit everything. Always has been the case. The transparency is there. But Howard Webb and the PG as a whole, they don't want to do that because it will throw them under the bus. It will expose them for being fraudulent, incompetent pillocks. That's being polite, by the way. Pillocks. And I'm just sick of it at this point. Because nothing's going to change. This is the thing. First of the season, we're going to say for the last few games of this season, we're going to have these same discussions. And again, I said it last year. I say it again. We're going to be here this time next year. Start of next season from match day 1 all the way through to the bitter end. Have not just about Arsenal in general, having the same discussions week in, week out. Because no one, Howard will not, for some reason, Howard will not walk. He will not be sacked by the FA either. And even with him staying, he will not sack not one of the 21 or 22 match officials on the payroll from this season. He won't do it. And I'm just and as I say, and that'd be the reason why over and over again. There's only one at this point. There's only one way we get somewhere better in a better place going forward, and that is the FA growing a pair of balls, sacking, and I mean sacking, not even waiting until after the Club World Cup and all that palaver, or before as the Premier League fixtures have been announced or whatever. Day after the league is done in May, in terms of the season's done, the FA need to come out with a statement saying they're sacking Howard Webb and that they're bringing in Kalena from FIFA to be the head of the PGMOL. For him to, and then he can come in, he can then look at for a couple of weeks, do a 2-week trial, do what current not. They get 2 weeks, they don't get holiday, fuck them. Get their asses into HQ. So at the back and forth, 1-on-1 and groups and that, see what and basically figure out who can be saved and rectify their careers, and who's just bog standardly shit. The ones that bog standardly shit, they're all shit. Buck off, and then basically go search in the UK in general. Three or four who he perceives to be potentially the best of the best, basically, that he can train up ready for the season, that are adequate enough to do a job that he sees fit. Also, with the remaining spaces, go out into Europe and around the world in general, just as out and around the world in general, and get the best referees around all over in all different continents, Europe, outside of Europe, etc. Bring them in and make it. I mean, why not? The Premier League itself, in terms of players, we need to have every manager in the Premier League is from outside of the UK, all of them. Let's be honest, barring Eddie Howe, David Moyes, and the Ipswich guy. I can't remember his name now for a bizarre reason. Barring them three, everyone else is from abroad. The majority of the Premier League players are from abroad. So let's just go full hog, get the officials on the bandwagon as well. But again, the best of the best, managed by Kalena, or you might actually start getting somewhere. And also, when it comes to VAR side of things, do not put any officials in the VAR room. No matter what, you go and get WizTechs, basically. They're great at the technology. They can read up on the rule book and this, that, and the other, and just get on with it and do that. Like they do in rugby. Because in rugby, the people in the room aren't referees; they're just fucking WizTechs that know the tech, know the rules, and read their back and forth with the people on the pitch. And stop this bollocks that every time a referee goes to the fucking screen in the Premier League, that because you're being sent over, you have to change your mind, no matter what. Sometimes the people in the room might have something wrong. Stick to your gun sometimes. It's an amazing thing when you do. English football's begun. I mean, look, after this for the last few years now, we've seen and heard about the corruption in Italy, Spain, and other countries as well. For example, like, to generalise, you're not telling me here in England, the officials here, the organisation in general, in terms of the FA, are not corrupt. When everyone else is, but here in England, it's all perfect. It's all okay. Nothing to see here, guys. We're just brilliant, fantastic. We're not corrupt. We're squeaky clean. Bollocks. Absolute bollocks. Hungarian VAR ref was caught in live television scanning a bet in that. It's all over. Of course it fucking is. But obviously, Kalena, I'm not saying Kalena has to go and get that particular person, but go and get it and do character checks and all that, obviously, beforehand. and bring the best of the best in, basically, that he feels adequate to do a good enough job here in the Premier League to his standard. I mean, what was it, a few weeks back? There was that clip that went viral. Got a few weeks back now. This side of the year, by the way. The VAR, I can't remember what game it was, but VAR, people in VAR literally, doing nothing in the far corner of the screen, on the screenshot someone took. One of the officials had a phone stand, had their phone on said stand, and what did they have open? The FPL app. Because that's not dodgy, is it? When you're meant to be officiating a game. So what's to say? And that's the point of that post, by the way. I'll try and find it at some point. But what's to say that official didn't have players in his team from that game and wasn't being effective, thinking I could lose points here, clear to benefit him, and that's just FPL. That's your point about betting and all that. Of course, as I say, it's just ridiculous at this point. I still remember, what was it, New Year's Day, a couple of years back when we played Manchester City on New Year's Day. We got at the Emirates. Me and my brother went to that game. This is when I had COVID and he couldn't be at the game itself. But when we lost 2-1 in the end, Rodri scored a winning goal. But the game, was it Stuart Atwell was the ref that day? Absolutely horrendous performance from him. Anything he could give against Arsenal, he could give. And when Man City players are doing the same thing, la 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 la. Oh, Gabriel, you bumped into Jesus by accident. Off you go. Oh, Granit Xhaka, that Bernardo Silva dived over your foot. I didn't want to give it, but I've been told I have to give it. Penalty. Odegaard, you've been stamped on the ankle by the goalkeeper? Go away. No penalty for me. Yet today, literally both players scuffling for the ball. Lewis Skelly's falls on his arse outside the box. Harrison continues and then slips and falls on his own arse. Penalty. The most bare minimum of contact today. Penalty. VAR check this and go, yeah, no problem. Stepping on someone's ankle. No penalty. No penalty. No. That's fantastic. Well done, ref. Move on. Continue. Turn a blind eye. And there's one thing that I don't get in for next season, because I know what I've said ain't going to happen in terms of getting rid of Howard and all that. But the main thing for me they need to stop using, clear and obvious, the phrase clear and obvious. Because that's open to interpretation to the individual or individuals. That has got to fucking stop. Because you're literally going, well, I can bend the rules here, I can bend the rules there, because you know what? In my opinion, and in my opinion this, and in my opinion, fuck off. Where's the clear and obvious during the week in the Merseyside derby? How is it Jordan Pickford took out Nunez, who, by the way, I don't rate in terms of Nunez, but took out Nunez, and yet Nunez is the one that booked? Like, seriously. And that's not a clear and obvious mistake. That wasn't looked into. As I say, I'm just done with it. The amount of times I've seen players time waste this season that have just gone, either got themselves in the way or kicked the ball away, this, that, and the other. Nothing happens. Dermot Gallagher come Monday morning on Sky Sports on Ref Watch, defends it. Oh well, the ball was dead. No one was actually moving. Oh no, because the foul was committed and players are getting up. They want to take a quick free kick, but they can't because fucking pricks in the way, or the pricks kick the ball away. The Man City Arsenal game early in the season with his 2-2. Trossard gets sent off for what he did early on in the game, though. Was it down the game? Yeah, early on in the game, for that first half, Doku side of the pitch, free kick is given to Arsenal. What does Doku do? Walks off with said ball and then kicks it away from the Arsenal players to take a free kick. No booking. They pick and choose when they want to imply the rules. Start of last season, when we played at Wembley for the Community Shield against City, and they made a big deal out of one of the rules they're bringing back in and going to really stamp on it this time round and make a thing of it, was discipline of players and managers and all that. Like to stamp down on a discipline, we're going to put anyone that steps out of line, we're booking and sending off no matter what. I said even back then, it'll last 3 or 4 weeks, and then it'll be dire death, and everything will go back to normal how it has been, and nothing will change. But in the meantime, they'll pick and choose. In that game at Wembley, me and my brother were there, and even in that game, picked and chose. When they wanted to implement that. The referee picked and chose when he wanted to implement that rule. Ironically, if you want to think about it that way, whenever he did implement the rule, it was against an Arsenal player. But the second a Man City player or Pep was going off on the touchline, running outside of his fucking penalty, his technical area, up and down, this, that, and the other. Nothing to see here, guys. I'm blind. I've got that Stevie Wonder effect on me. But the second an Arsenal player breathed, or Arteta breathed, the referees straight away on it, like, boom, yellow card, fuck off. And he rammed it home for me. And I kept saying it. And lo and behold, within a few weeks, what happened? Died of death. It's not even a thing now. We see it. We've seen it today. Referee called the game by 15 seconds. Called the game to an end. Right. By the way, the last game's up. Everton versus Arsenal. I've seen the Kevin Campbell banner being walked around the stands. There's Hillsey as well. But yeah, as an Arsenal fan, as a football fan, I'm just sick of having the same discussion week in, week out. Be it on this segment, on watch-alongs, on the podcast side of things. I'm sick of saying it. I'm sick of having a discussion. It's just we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same words week in, week out. But we've got to have that discussion and keep that out. Keep putting these words out there, so these fuckers don't think they're getting away with it. That we're not stupid enough to fucking believe their bullshit. Jack Harrison, ex-Man City Academy player. What a surprise. Crap anyway. Absolutely woeful as a player. No wonder Leeds didn't want to keep hold of him when he went down. Oh dear. Oh mate, again there. Look, Ben White gets a smack to the face, by the way. Obviously he gets a booking. This is what I actually said in the watch along. How is it Ben White gets a smack to the face, referee acknowledges it and books O'Brien, but you've acknowledged it that he's done something illegal by booking him, but you've then not booked the game, got hold of the ball, give an Arsenal goal kick or something like a goal kick, a free kick, sorry. You've allowed Everton to have an advantage in terms of a throw-in and attack us. How does that logic work? I'm emotionally officially checked out. You can't waste time and energy on corruption and underachieving. The underachieving doesn't help, obviously, but what's not helping in terms of the underachieving is the fucking corruption and the bullshit that we have to put up every year. Like I said fucking 20 odd minutes ago, we shouldn't be sitting here being able to name and know the geographical locations of their birthplaces of the referees, let alone their full names and where they currently live and who they fucking support. And then the fact that we know who these referees support as well, and they officiate games that potentially could affect their rivals depending on where they are in the league and this and the other. Like, how does that work? How's that not dodgy? The fact that was it in what 5 games in, Gillett literally officiated four of our first 5 games of the season, and he's a Liverpool fan. But this guy can look at the showing the penalty here. The referee could not wait. The second Harrison goes down, he's like boom, boom. Yeah, other fouls in this game turned a blind eye. But this isn't even a foul. It's a 50-50 tussle between the two of them. They're both grabbing hold of each other, yes, but it's not a foul. Lewis Skelly falls on his ass well before fucking Harrison. And even when he's going down, Harrison doesn't go. I mean, not Harrison. Lewis Skelly doesn't make contact with him when he's going down. He's gone down one way, and Harrison's gone the fucking other way. How does that? Even physics. How does that fucking work? When the person you're saying that's fouled you is falling the other way. It's by physics, if he's touched you, you should be falling the same way as him. You say that now, buddy. Wait till you start being competitive again one day, and he's still around, and he's screwing you over to favour Liverpool. Then to see how you feel about that. They're all crap. They're all shit. They can't do their fucking jobs. It needs to be a clear out, but it won't be a clear out because Howard Webb looks after his own. It's the Northern Alliance. And when I say that, I've said this in bloody live chats and all that, and people say, "Oh, there's not. Oh, look, the Northern Alliance." Oh, someone said about the Northern Alliance. Like, it's fucking true. When literally every official, Premier League official, is from the north, you can call it a Northern Alliance. When the head of the PGMOL is from the north, and I've met him as well back in 2007, sorry. Again, confirmed, he's from the north. You can call it a Northern Alliance. None of this, oh, well, you can't really say that if you're an Arsenal fan from the south. No, I can't fucking say it because he's from the fucking north and all the referees are from the north. Period. Northern Alliance, done and dusted, we move. Accept it for what it is and call it out for what it is. I don't know, I'm no longer on a TV. But there's still YouTube, my friend. There's still YouTube. You can still find these incidences out on YouTube, my friend. I'll give him a foul outside of the box, but damn, a penalty. But it wasn't even a foul. Come on, BX. Even you've got to admit, it wasn't even a foul from either one of them. They're both contesting for the ball, but it's not a foul. They've both contested for the ball. They've both fallen on their asses, respectively, one going one way, one going the other. In the end, it's not a foul. It really isn't. Yeah, I'll guarantee you, by the way, we're going to see something similar tomorrow in the Manchester Derby or one of the games tomorrow. No penalty. But yet again, Dermot Gallagher come Monday will defend it. When he's questioned, after he's defended the Arsenal one, he'll be later and asked about an incident, the same incident about tomorrow. He'll defend it. He'll still defend that one as well, or try to. it's very sus that they're mostly from Manchester. Exactly. But if you mention that and call it the Northern Alliance, I went the said channel I mentioned on in the live chat was on the Football Terrace. Is it Football Terrace? It was a couple of months back, and the people on the panel was like, "Oh, someone's mentioned it." I've got people here saying the Northern Alliance. Oh, really? Come on, like, it ain't that deep. Okay, we'll just ignore the fact that every referee in the Premier League is from the north. The man that runs it all is from the north. And when Manchester United play Arsenal for the last 3 years at Old Trafford, Paul Tierney, in some capacity, either on the pitch or off the pitch, or in the VAR room, is involved in our game. And guess where he's from? Oh yeah, Manchester. But there's no agenda, guys. There's no Pacific. Again, I'm not saying there's a Pacific agenda against Arsenal alone, but these referees, we see a fucking what's his name, Coot. He had a falling out one in the pandemic season with fucking Klopp and all, and Liverpool in general. And look at, we've seen the video now. We've seen that video where he's like, boom, and he clearly, after that got out, like, didn't fish that Liverpool game since until recently, prior to it all coming out. I mean, for 4 odd years. Okay. We've had ex-refs go on podcasts saying, yeah, I'll be honest, this has been said, that's been said. I cut from either fans or players or managers. I carry it over to the next game and officiate them. They admit it, but apparently there's no agendas. They don't hold agendas against certain players, like this, that, and the other. They've admitted it. Then you got Howard Webb going, no, that wouldn't happen. No. My refs are top-notch guys. And Gary Neville, after being told weeks prior on said podcast by ex-ref, completely opposite, I can't see that. After Howard Webb comes in, no, I can't see that ever being the case. Off. This coming from a guy in his playing career had Howard Webb and the entire refereeing situation in their pockets for over a decade. Yeah. But no, there's no agenda, guys. There's no favourites or people they hate or loathe or areas they don't get on with, the fan bases and all that. They don't hold them sort of things. They don't take it out and that's the very next game or could go multiple games afterwards. No. Even though proving the pudding's there, but still. I'm off, guys. Take it easy. Thanks. Not really been a match of the day stream in general. Really, I've been sat here for most of the last hour and 15 minutes nearly, ranting over the fucking officiating in this league. Again. So apologies for that, but thanks for sticking with us. I do appreciate it, especially Green and Muttley. Hope I haven't bored you to death. Oh dear, we'll speak soon. As I say, WhatsApp me offline or WhatsApp me or whatever. We're chatting to sort of organise when to stream together on your channel and my channel, respectively, etc. Who started this? Because I stopped the debate midnight. It's not midnight. It's 11:30. So piss off. Again, as I say, I'm passionate about it, and I'm putting it out there again. I'm just saying, even as a football, take the fact I'm an Arsenal fan, take what happened earlier on to us at the equation. I've said it for weeks on weeks this season. I'm sick of having the same debate or discussion and rant over this situation most of this all season nearly. We shouldn't be sitting in knowing the ins and outs. The full name of a referee, where they were born, where they're from currently, where they live, who they support, what they had for dinner last week. We shouldn't know this much. But they want to make it all about them and be celebrities. And you can't tell me that's not the case because you've got fucking Mark Clattenburg who retired early as a referee in England, went abroad for a couple of years to referee abroad for money, got his payday, retired completely, and now is now a referee on a fucking reality TV show called Gladiators, for fuck's sake. Mike Dean is a part of the panel on a week-to-week basis on Gillette Soccer Saturday on Sky. Dermot Gallagher is a regular, literally weekly regular on Sky Sports. And when it was before TNT, BT became TNT Discovery, that did that merger, you had Peter Walton doing what Dermot does on there. And in certain games, you have Mike Dean now in the gantry in Premier League games. Sits there for most of it, dead silence, and unless something comes about to discuss, say a said penalty or red card or whatever, he'll just sit there in the gantry, radio silent, until he's spoken to. Howard Webb will come out every few weeks doing his mic'd up thing and Mark Owen. And Mark Owen, by the end of the show, gets off his knees and wipes his mouth and goes, "Thank you very much, Howard. When can we do this again?" I swear there's rumours. And for the last couple of years, again, well, just on this conversation about them wanting to be stars and celebrities and all that. For the last couple of years, be it I'm a Celebrity, or since it's now come back in the last 18 months or so, Big Brother, the celebrity version, or a celebrity version of a reality TV show, there's always extra referees. All these extra referees are rumoured to be potentially taking part in these said shows. How is this even a thing? Like I said, growing up till the last 10 or so years, well, actually don't say that, maybe longer, until Mike Riley took over at the PGMOL when he retired, and he took over the head of it all, we didn't know the ins and outs of a referee's life in terms of where they were born, where they're from, where they live, their full name, who they support, what they had for dinner last week, and all that. What they're doing yesterday, what they're doing tomorrow, what they're doing in an hour's time, and this, that, and the other. We didn't know all that. When the referee retired, they retired. They didn't then go on and become a media lovey in terms of get an agent and then become an ex-Premier League ref that goes on Sky Sports or TNT now here in the UK, or over in America, CBS or Peacock or this, that, and the other, or do little segments on the newspaper, things like that. No, we didn't have any of this palaver. But nowadays, here we are, and it's been, and the media and everyone wants to. Not everyone that's in the media, not a football fan, not myself and others on this platform. They just accept it and go, "Yeah, cool, fantastic, let's go, woohoo, yeah, thanks, Mike, thanks, Dermot." Anyone else? Yeah. Anyone that speak, any of these ex-referees that from back in the day that did retire and went about their business as a retired ref, when they've retired and they've said things that have deemed to be speaking out against the organisation of the PGMOL in general, they're blacklisted. Keith Hackett has confirmed it in the last few weeks, because he publicly on his social media will call out whoever the referee may be. When they make a major clanger, he'll call it out on his social media. But because he does that, and Mike Halsey, when he retired and he said some things as well about the whole situation of one day we're told to do this, we're told to do that, and I wouldn't be surprised if one day we're in front of a court having to answer for our crimes. They're blacklisted. The head of Mike Riley at the time, and how Web now does it now. He's confirmed this on a podcast, on an Arsenal podcast, the Hybrid Squad, a few weeks back. He confirmed that literally, because they've done this, initially Mike Riley, now Howard Webb, rammed it home to the current crop of referees to not entertain Keith Hackett or Halsey or Graham Poll or anyone like that speaks out against the organisation. Anyone that speaks down to them in terms of brings their authority into question, they must be avoided at all costs. You can't even socialise with them. You can't even socialise with them outside of your work. What does that tell you? That women ref in the WSL know better. She always gives Chelsea everything. Why are you complaining? As I say, you get everything. I.e. penalties a penalty against us that this season that shouldn't have been a pen. And what was it the other week? The goal that was offside that was given, yeah, and things like that. Yeah. Anybody seen Rosie though? She was in the stream for the Watchalong this afternoon, but obviously I think she's gone into hiding after the 3 o'clock palaver in the iBox. That was mental, by the way. Imagine losing to Hibs. Fucking hell. At home as well. For the first time, gone as Arnold. But on that note, guys, as I say, the match of the day is done. Not really been a match of the day stream. Not really focused on the games. After a while, I went, fuck it, we went rogue. Well, I went rogue anyway. And basically, it's basically a stream. Basically, turned into a stream of me ranting about the pricks that meant to make officiate our game. Oh dear, again. But anyway, on that note, as I say, I'm going to get myself out of it. I will be back tomorrow for the Manchester Derby. I'll be going live about 4:15 UK time, 15 minutes before kick-off. Just again, it's a neutral game, Manchester Derby. Just a bit of a chilled one, really. I'll see what happens and see how the game goes, and if there's anything to really talk about. And obviously, then after that, then late in the evening, after Mr. Tom's done the V's show on his channel, his We Love Leeds show. After that, about half hour later, I'll be going live here on this channel doing the third instalment of the fan reaction show. It's going to have reactions to the Arsenal's game today, any of the drama tomorrow in the games that I play it tomorrow, and more probably also more fan reactions to the referees again. I might be hiding. Why? Who are you playing tomorrow? Actually, who are you playing tomorrow? Let's have a butchers before we actually do get ourselves out of here. Oh, thank you. Oh, fuck me. Oh, West London Derby against Brentford. Oh, okay. So Brentford, Chelsea, Fulham, Liverpool, Knuckle Draggers versus Southampton, and Manchester Derby. So Brentford, Chelsea could go either way. Probably a draw. It would either be a draw or Brentford win. If I'm being honest, it's Brentford a home team, so it could be Brentford win or draw. Chelsea will not win. Probably, that's my opinion anyway. Fulham, Liverpool, well, it's on TV. They win. They're 2 games away from being officially champions. So more likely Liverpool win. They'll scrape their arses and go win a 1-0 scrappy game or whatever. They'll win. Knuckle Draggers Southampton. Knuckle Draggers normally should win, But they're shit this season. Thank God, always shit, but it's really shit. They're back to normality shit, basically. And Southampton need to win, basically. If Southampton don't win, they're gone. If it's properly done and dust, we know they're going, but they're gone. That will be confirmed. And probably, I think, would it be the earliest a team's been relegated in Premier League history? Let's look into that one if it happens. But also, Southampton have got a chance here to make it a hat trick of the three promoted teams coming up this season, all going to Tottenham and winning at Tottenham. So they've got that chance as well. And also, with that win, I don't know. Probably fucking Tottenham should win it, but it is what it is. And Manchester Derby, I mean, that could be the dullest game in the world, basically. Based on how both teams are playing this season, that's going to be either a dull game or a scrappy game with a bit of entertainment involved. Oh dear! I wonder if De Bruyne will start because it'd be this is his last Manchester derby. I wonder if he'll start. Yeah. But yeah, on that note, as I say, we're going to get ourselves out of here. We're going for a 2-2, are you? Okay. I'll see Piggy meltdown. Oh dear. I look forward to the Champions League. This season is the least amount of Premier games I've watched. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even years gone by, I'm sat here and I'm like, you know what I do? This, maybe do this, and neutral one, this, that. I'm not even doing that. Like, in terms of in general for the whole season. I'm only doing it like Thursday because obviously Gav asked. I thought, you know what, Thursday got a free slot, why not? And then tomorrow is like the only reason I'm entertaining the Manchester Derby tomorrow because we've got no WSL this week. There's no. Normally we'd have the men's team and the women's team, and I say from an Arsenal point of view, and we just cover them and that'd be it, sort of thing. Unless it's a really, really, really important game. Even though it's the Carling, normally I do the Carabao Cup final. I didn't even do that this year. I didn't have the energy or the want to do it, basically. Just because it's just like whatever, what will be will be. Oh dear. Whereas as years gone by, even when there's no international football, when you got the Arsenal winning the weekend on a Saturday or a Sunday, either both on one day or whatever. As long as there was no clashes between our games, I'll still do neutral watch songs in the years gone by. But this year it's not been that there for me. I didn't do Manchester Derby in the season, for fuck's sake. I think did I? What do I think now? Did I do the? I didn't even do the Merseyside Derby this year. I think Derby is always a big. It's not as big as a North London Derby in terms of the intensity, the atmosphere, the drama, and all that. It's just either one team dominates or one team don't. It's either Manchester United dominate or City dominate. It's one or the other normally. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna get myself out of here. I keep saying it. Appreciate you all coming along, keeping me company, obviously keeping the chat flying through as well, and tolerating my rant basically. Yet again. As I say, we're back tomorrow. 2 streams. Monday, you've got the All Arsenal show on Monday with Liam, Brooke. Well, let's say Brooks, he's away, but Liam, he's special guest co-host on his panel. And then Tuesday, Arsenal versus Madrid, first leg. Wednesday, nothing planned, as far as I'm aware. And Thursday, we may have another show this Thursday as well. We'll let you know near the time as well, by Monday as well, on that one. But other than that, guys, take care. If you haven't already, please hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you want to, and grab a link and share it amongst all your friends, your family on social media, WhatsApp chats, group chats, on whatever group chats. Just share, and let's grow this channel and grow this community even bigger and better and faster than we currently are. I mean, no sense, but still. And on that note, take care, everyone. See you later, and up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.